Hi, I'm Sarah Baldwin. Welcome to another Sunday with Sarah. I'm really excited about this week's video because I am going to show you how I used to make stone soup in the kindergarten. In one of my previous blog posts, I talked about the importance of the rhythm of the day and the rhythm of the week. So in our kindergarten class, and Friday was soup day. Every Friday, we'd make stone soup. And all the children were invited to bring a vegetable from home. Some might bring a potato, whatever's in the fridge. Some might bring a carrot or a zucchini or a red pepper. And I'd have a big bowl of water, and when children came, they would put their vegetables in the water and scrub them. Now this is something you can easily adapt at home too. And in my previous blog post on rhythm, I talked about how that you can make the flow of your days and your weeks easier by having meals that are associated with the day of the week. It could be lunch, it could be dinner, but you could have soup for lunch on Fridays or whatever day you choose. And that kind of rhythm and knowing what to expect is such a benefit, great benefit for children. So on soup day, before the children arrived, I would prepare by chopping onions, because a lot of children think they don't like onions, and if they saw them, they would not want to eat the soup. So I would do this ahead of time and chop the onions and crush the garlic, and then I would have these sautéing, which I'll show you in a moment. And so when the children arrived, the room would already smell good. So if you're at home with children, you could do this prep first before you invite your children to help you in the kitchen to help chop vegetables to make the soup. So this is the prep that I did before the children would arrive. If you're at home, you can just do this in advance before you invite your children to come and help. But I've chopped up an onion, I've crushed a couple of cloves of garlic, and then my secret ingredient, I'm chopping up an apple. And my former assistant and good friend Jess Antonis told me this secret. It makes the soup sweeter and even more delicious. So I've got my pot here ready to go. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil and butter. And here I've got some gourmet butter that has herbs and garlic added to it. So what's nice about this is when you get this ready and children come into the kitchen, it already smells so good from this sautéing onion and garlic. So I've let this sauté a while, and now the onions are getting soft. And I'm going to add some bouillon for flavor. This is one I like better than bouillon. This is a vegetable bouillon. It's a paste. But you could use cubes or powder, or if you have any stock on hand, you could just add stock. And I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls in. I never have used a recipe for stone soup. It's never exactly the same week to week because we vary the ingredients that we have to put into it, but the children would swear that it's the same. Often they would ask their mothers at home to make stone soup and always insist that it never tasted the same as in the kindergarten. So I've had lots and lots of moms ask me how to make stone soup, but I don't know what it is about kindergarten soup. And now I'm going to add water. And the most important ingredient, a clean washed stone. And when it's time to eat the soup, every week one child would find the stone in his or her bowl and would make a wish on the stone and then pass the stone around to everyone else around the table. Every person gets to hold the stone and make a wish. It's our magic wishing stone. So I'm going to let this simmer and wait for my friends to arrive to help me with the rest. So now I'm here with my friends who are going to help me chop vegetables to make stone soup today. And I have an apron for each of them. I put on their aprons, and in front of each place is a little cutting board and a crinkle cutter. These are so great for young children for chopping vegetables because they're dull. They can't cut fingers, and they make little fun shapes. So everyone has a cutting board and a wooden bowl. These are our little child's maple bowls from Bella Luna Toys. And what I've done is I've cut some vegetables into pieces about this big, manageable size pieces.
Well, why didn't we get the green stuff?
And given them each a piece, and we can start chopping, right?
Okay, I'll chop mine.
And I have some vegetable chopping songs. One goes like this. It goes, chop, chop, chippity chop. Cut off the bottoms and cut off the tops. What we have left we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Cut off the bottoms and cut off the tops. What we have left we'll put in the pot. Chop, chop, chippity chop. Double chops.
Double chop.
And so as we chop our vegetables, we're filling our little wooden bowls full of vegetables, which when they're full, we'll carry over to put in the big pot of soup. And so in my kindergarten class, every week was a little bit different depending on what veggies the children brought in. Today we've got potatoes and carrots, some zucchini and red peppers. You could also tear up some kale or spinach if you want to put some dark leafy greens into your soup. Oh, you need some more.
Thank you.
And
I got a seed.
Beets are wonderful, sweet potatoes, squash. You can put anything into stone soup. And stone soup is based on the story about a group of poor soldiers who came into a village who were seeking food, and nobody wanted to share their food, but they tricked their villagers. They told them they had a magic stone that they could make soup with. Everyone wanted to know about it, and then suddenly the villagers brought out vegetables. Oh, I have a potato to add. I have a carrot to add. And soon the pot was full with enough soup to feed the whole village. I will post the story in case you don't know it on my blog, which you can find at moonchildblog.com. So,
I'm done too.
Great. We've got bowls full of vegetables, which we will then add to our soup. Okay, so now we're ready to add our chopped vegetables to the pot, which has been simmering here for a bit. I need my helpers to bring over your chopped veggies. Now come really close. Pour slowly so it doesn't splash. There we go. You want to give it a stir? I'm going to add some salt and pepper. You could also add some tamari. You could add some herbs or herb salt. Okay, thank you. Stone soup, cook a pot of stone soup, stone soup, cook a pot of stone soup, stone soup, cook a pot of stone soup.
Oh, try to carry it.
I nice and close. Very good. Give it a stir. Stone soup, stone soup. Cook a pot of stone soup. Thank you. And now the last thing I'm going to do is add some barley, which I've been soaking overnight. It's always good to soak grains overnight before you use them. It makes them more digestible, which is especially important for children. Now barley does have gluten in it, so if you or your child are gluten-free, you can use rice instead. You could also use pasta. Pasta in fun shapes are fun, or alphabet pasta. But this will make the soup a little more hearty. And that is it. That's everything we need for our stone soup. We will let it simmer for an hour or two, and it will be ready to eat. So, last thing I want to say is taking care of your wooden bowls and cutting boards. It's always good after using them, rinse them with water, and to use an oil or polish on them. Our Bee Luna beeswax polish, I've got one right here, is it's beeswax in jojoba, and it's excellent for keeping your wooden things from drying out. And it's also it can be used on your skin. It's like a salve or a moisturizer, or you can just use even olive oil, but you don't want to use soap on them, just water and beeswax polish or oil. And that is all there is to it. I hope you're inspired to give it a try, and let me know how it goes. Let me know how it tastes. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.